Hey, peace to the family. Everybody know that, Jin Sasaki and Brian Norman Jr. fight is going down in Japan. I think today. It's supposed to be Thursday, and I think it's Thursday in Japan right now. I think it's early Thursday morning in Japan. So, of course, tomorrow, our time, Jin Sasaki and Brian Norman Jr., probably, I want to say about 7:30 in the morning, their fight is scheduled to go down because Japan is like 12 hours ahead of us or something of that sort. So both men made weight. Of course, I'm going for Brian Norman Jr. It's a difficult task, when you go in another man's country, backyard to fight him. But fighters do it all the time. You have fighters from Japan come to America. You have fighters from the UK come to America. You have fighters from America go to the UK. You have fighters from Mexico go to the UK, come to America. So you get what I'm saying? It happens all the time. This is nothing new. My thoughts on this fight, both of these guys have a high knockout ratio. Both of these guys, right? Both of these guys are pretty much knockout artists in their respective fields. We know doggone Brian Norman Jr. hitting like a mule. That boy, he country strong. Straight out of Georgia. And then Jin Sasaki been doing this thing over there in Japan, the land of the Ginsu beans, the land of Dragon Ball Z, Goku, Black Frieza, Vegeta. You know what I mean? Cell. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I personally, I don't think this fight is going 12. I think somebody get knocked out, whether it be Brian Norman Jr. or Jin Sasaki. I got Brian Norman Jr. If he's patient, don't get reckless, he can handle this guy in spectacular fashion. He looks like he's in tremendous shape. Both men look like they are in tremendous shape, to be fair. A lot of people in America, they don't know who Jin Sasaki is. I had to do some research on him myself. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say I know everything about him. I don't. However, I respect the grind. I respect what Brian Norman Jr. is doing. Even though he's a champion, but he's taking his belt on the road and fighting this guy in his own backyard. And if it go 12 rounds, who knows how that fight is going to work out. So we don't know. He's taking a risk, but boxing is all about risk. That's what makes boxing what it is. It's the risk. If you're not willing to take a risk, what they say, no risk it, no biscuit. You get what I'm saying? That's what makes it what it is. So, that's just the reality of the situation. We got a lot of good fights coming up later on down the line. This particular fight, it's kind of hard to predict, but I got probably a stoppage, maybe like in the 8th or 9th round. Probably like an 8th, 9th round stoppage. I think once Brian Norman gets his groove going and stuff like that, gets his rhythm, he probably can get this guy out of there in about the 8th or 9th round. On the other end, if Jin Sasaki were to win, can he, I can see it going that way as well. But I got B. Norman Jr. stopping him in like the 8th or 9th round. I'm in Vegas right now, so it's very, very hot, bro. It was like 110 degrees yesterday. And me being from Florida, the heat is different because the heat in Florida, it doesn't get 110 degrees, but, it'll get like 98, 99, 95, 96. But the humidity, but it feels like 100, 105, because of the humidity. And then at night, when it gets dark, it only drops down to like 75, 76 degrees. So, in Vegas, it's hot air. It's not no moisture in there. There's no humidity. But back to Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr., I know there's probably some people that want to see him lose this and that because they don't like his dad and all that stuff there. And I get that. However, I never let never get too emotionally invested in it to the degree to where, hey, you got to look at the skills. Jin Sasaki is a damn good fighter. He has punching power in both hands. Brian Norman Jr. has punching power in both hands as well. So I want to see how both guys set the table, meaning how they're going to pace themselves. How are you going to pace yourself this fight? Again, Brian Norman Jr. is fighting in Japan. He looks like he's in tremendous shape. So he's going to have to bring the smoke. He's going to have to make a statement because this is how he's going to build his name. This is how, when you go back to America, there's some big fights there. If Brian Norman can get past Jin Sasaki, then, Devin Haney said he want to fight him. We're going to find out. Me personally, no disrespect to Dev or the Haney Maniacs. I like to call them the Haney Maniacs because the Devin Haney, a lot of the Devin Haney fans or not a lot of them, but there's a good portion of them. They are the radical element of him. You know, those guys make me sick. And if you know anything about me, I don't like radical male groupie elements of any fighter. If you follow my channel, I say this all the time. It's okay to be a fan, but once you become radicalized, once you become a radical fan, then you go on the fringe of male groupiness. So, but if Bill Haney can make that fight with Brian Norman, if he's victorious tonight, I got Brian Norman by stoppage myself. And this ain't no shade to neither side. You get what I'm saying? But, you know, those two brothers get in the ring and fight, I just think that guy's just too big, too strong. You get what I'm saying? That's just how I see it, you know. So we'll see how that plays out. And that's just reality to the situation. That's how I see it. I'm being completely honest about that. So I'll be back tomorrow night. We're going to go live Friday, you know, do a recap or whatever. And got an interview, got something special I'm going to drop on you guys. You know, so I have some more interviews to do today. I'm hooking up with Coach Sonny, hooking up. And I got another brother that I'm looking to do an interview with. So we're going to see what's up. Reese Archer, the slap god. See, can I hook up with him? You know, see what we got going on. But other than that, it's a good trip, man. Much love to everybody. Peace to the family. I tried to go live, but the reception here is just so bad, I can't go live. So, you know, the Wi-Fi in Vegas is terrible. It's terrible. You can't stream live here. You can't. You get what I'm saying? Just being honest with you. So that's just the reality of the situation. I don't think it's, you know, it's not meant for streaming. However, you know, we'll see exactly how it works out. But we're going to see, man. Can Brian Norman Jr. get a stoppage? Can he get a stoppage? You know, I don't know. I'm on this time zone because you guys know I've been, you know, I was up all late last night, man. Just up late last night and just late, man, up late. And then, you know, once I left Bud House, I had to come back to the hotel and just really try to wind down. It was very, very hard for me to wind down, you know, get some sleep or whatever. So it is what it is. That's why I look kind of tired. But I'm going to see you guys. I'll drop another video later. And we won't be going live because, you know, I'm going to try to go live. I'm going to try to go live downstairs. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. What do you guys think? Leave your comments below. Hate, like, share, and subscribe. What do you guys think? Do you think that Brian Norman Jr. can stop Jin Sasaki in Japan? And if he does, and if he does stop him, if he do stop him, you know, what would you think about that? Like, okay, this motherfucker here hitting hard. What do you think his chances are against Devin Haney if he were to stop Jin Sasaki tonight? I got Brian Norman beating him myself. As I said before, there's no shade or nothing like that. That's just reality. That's just how I see it. You know, so hopefully they can make that fight happen. Hopefully there isn't no cap. Hopefully ain't nobody trying to offer somebody $1 million or whatever the case may be, because, you know, somebody going to put the money up for the fight. And we know that the Haneys don't put the money up for their own fights. And we know that the Normans don't put the money up for their own fights. So it's going to come down to maybe a Turki Al-Sheikh is going to finance the fight, or even the Top Rank. I don't know. But neither one of these guys put the money up. So we shouldn't have any issues about money. It should be no, oh, well, you know, I'm going to send you an offer for this and that. You ain't putting the money up. Neither one of y'all putting the money up for no damn fight. We know the financier going to be doggone Turki Al-Sheikh. So how much money you want to fight him? How much money you want to make Turki Al-Sheikh? I'm pretty sure he can make that fight happen. So we're going to get more into that. But you Haney Maniacs, y'all are starting to take this shit just, you know what I mean? Y'all starting to sound like the Tanker Maniacs now. The Haney Maniacs and the Tanker Maniacs are starting to sound one and the goddamn same at this point, in my eyes, from what I'm seeing online. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hate, like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. You know my motto. Don't leave me that beat me there. Peace.